All right, moving on to the next show that we got. We got the Ghostbusters, a full length finally. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Now,
Mhm.
I grew up in the '80s. You're just shy of that.
Mhm.
Ghostbusters is such an '80s classic thing, and the thing I really want to focus on in this conversation is how they're doing nostalgia this time. And I think this is the best way I've seen a nostalgia handled,
Mhm.
where we have that new cast, and I'm excited to watch that new cast. They feel like the old cast. They have some connections, but also the old cast is there too, and they're bringing in the flavor. They're not necessarily the focus, but they are that extra punch. And
Mhm.
so I think they're answering everybody's calls to action. I think this is perfect.
So
What are
you
your
think
thoughts?
instead of passing the torch, they're handing the kid the flashlight. So dad's gonna keep working on the car, but the kid's gonna hold the flashlight and watch it. Like you're bringing in
Until
the
the
next
point,
generation. Yeah.
until the point when the modem needs to be fixed, and and the kid's fixing the modem, and the dad's like, "What's that now?" And so I think that's what we're
Yeah.
seeing. We're seeing that transition
Okay. Yeah. Where you
because
see
right
the
now, like,
different skills.
yes,
Nice. Okay.
we're seeing like with this one in the new trailer, we saw one of the new toys they have is the drone that can catch them up in the sky. That's
Mhm.
definitely new Ghostbusters, not old Ghostbusters. And so that's gonna be a fun tool for the kids to be like, check this thing out. We got drones
Yeah.
now and drone up. And it just looks so fun. I like that idea. Just a fun movie to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that does look good. I'm totally getting fired for this, but haven't seen Afterlife yet. But I did buy the
What?
first two. Yeah,
Oh my
I know.
God.
I did buy the first two because my whole thing was like, oh, I don't want to watch that until I rewatch the old ones because I haven't seen them since I was like 10 or something.
Oh my
Uh,
God, Jonathan.
so I watched the original one recently, or yeah, I say recently, 6 months ago. So I'll watch number two and Afterlife before this one comes out.
I cannot believe I watched Afterlife. I've watched it like three times in theaters.
Oh,
It was just a
geez.
fun, yeah, it was just a fun movie. I went with like Daniel. Daniel's like, oh, what do you want to do? Like, let's go watch Afterlife again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good one. Definitely watch that. Watch the old ones too. You don't need to, but you can. And I
Mhm.
know you got to watch Deadpool as well.
Yeah. Oh
So,
man. Yeah, I'll get there.
busy schedule. You got that movie pass, so you won't be falling behind again.
What I need to do is
But
make an actual like list. Maybe I need to do it on paper or something because I keep losing track of the thing that I need to watch. So I end up just watching whatever.
yeah,
But there's so many things that's like, oh yeah, I totally want to watch that, and then I forget it. I don't write it down somewhere.
that has to be an app. There has to be an app for that.
Yeah, I've been
If
preaching it.
not,
I
I'll
don't know
make
how to.
it.
I don't know how to make apps, but yeah, if everyone listening, if you know how, help us out. We want an app called like Q or something like that, the list, whatever, where your friends can pitch to you things that you should watch or read or entertainment, restaurants to go to, whatever, and you can swipe them off your list or keep them there. You can move them to the top in priority, something like that. But somewhere that you can look when your wife's like, "Hey, we should go on a date night." Oh yeah, well, hey, Joe suggested we should go to that hot dog joint down the street, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I really like the idea of on that app. It also said like, I think you'll like this one because it
Mhm.
reminds me of this movie. That's really good.
Yeah,
Because if I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood to watch
associations.
Kingsman, oh, then you should watch Argyle because it's like
Yeah.
that. Like that would be perfect.
And within it, it's very simple to add links to where, like, oh, yeah, I do want to check out that restaurant. Here's the link to the website or the address, or here's a link to Fandango so I could get the tickets for that movie that they suggested, or whatever. Make it smart. Love it.
What going back to this, what other franchises can you think of that's handled this like bringing back, because everybody's doing it, right? Everybody's bringing back the old stuff. Nobody makes anything new. Can you think of
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
that's handled it this well? Why I think about it, I'll mention Star Trek Generations, which brought
Mhm.
the next gen and the original cast together in one movie. That was pretty cool. But
Yeah.
this one's just
Uh,
handling, I think, even better than that.
I can't think of, I mean, I can't think of any movies that have been, I know there's been tons of them. I can't think of any movies or series that we've had remade recently.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I hate when they like Ghostbusters even tried it. Ghostbusters came out with the new cast, and I don't care about oh, it was all girls. Like I still enjoyed it. It was still a fun movie, but
Yeah.
it felt like it was abandoning the old one. When this one's definitely not. This one's definitely like no, this is a part of the old one, and I think that's
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
because
That
that
other
way
one
you're
felt
not
like a
just.
standalone for sure.
It felt like standalone. Felt like it was just like oh, this is a whole new thing. That's not how you're going to capture the same love. Like if they, I think Men in Black is a good thing to bring back right now. Like I think they should do a
Oh,
brand new Men
yeah.
in Black.
Yep.
You better have Tommy Lee Jones or something like that doing a quick wink at camera. Will
Yeah.
Smith, like we're past Slapgate enough. I'm ready for him to come back. We
Oh,
better get him on camera.
I talked about it on here a couple weeks ago, and it's still, to me, I feel dumb saying it, but Mean Girls was such a good movie. I don't know why I liked it so much. So if you liked the original one, definitely go watch that because
Did they have any of the original cast?
yeah. So Lindsay Lohan plays the judge in the
Well, that's cool.
math competition that they do. Yeah. I'm sure there's more. Oh yeah. Duh. Tina Fey plays the character, the teacher that she was, and I believe the same actor that was the principal is the principal again in this one. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. But yeah,
it just feels like the next generation, then, not necessarily like a whole new retelling of the story. Then,
well, it is this story like word for word.
Okay,
not word for word. They did make changes and stuff like that, but it's very much follows more or less the same events of the original movie. I think I think it's better than the original one for sure.
That's crazy because I know a lot of people are like worshiping the original one.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me is you have Movie Pass now, so you're watching a lot more movies, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen both the top two movies in the box office. You haven't really talked about it much. One is Mean Girls. The other one's The Beekeeper. What are your thoughts on The Beekeeper? The
Beekeeper was actually really good. So I would say if you like I like old Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. We watched those a lot when we were kids. Classic. Or Jason Statham movies in general are really good, but they're really good like B movies. They're really good like kind of I just want to see explosions and fast cars and have a half decent plot line that I can follow through the middle of it. This is the best of that genre, I think. This is a really good B big action movie. I don't know.
Wow, that's high praise because we used to watch a lot of those and would love them. I couldn't tell you because we've seen Hard Target, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie with the terrible accents. Yeah, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah, they did a real good job with him being. I mean, he always plays the same version of himself, which I like. But they did a good job with him kind of breaking the system and pointing out that all criminals think they can get away with stuff, but they sleep on a pillow like everybody else. They're not safe. Even if you are behind, guarded by 10 guards, he's guard number 7. You don't realize it, kind of thing. Like he can infiltrate whatever you're in. So it was just really well done. So I would definitely say check it out. And it very much has like a modern twist in it where it's not, the old criminals that are, I don't know,
cryptocurrency or something like that.
Yeah. So what it is, it's scammers that are taking money from old people. And he's
oh man, I do want to hate those. I hate those people. That's perfect.
Yeah. And they make this little network and it's all about just turning over numbers and you get somebody on the hook and then you convince them to click on a certain button on your computer. And before you know it, their bank accounts are emptied out and somebody he knows and cares about gets scammed. And he's like, okay, so this whole system needs to get destroyed from the ground up. And he does it. He gets it all the way to the end. It's pretty dang awesome.
I'm so much more invested because I hate when like action movies nowadays, those somebody's got to still employ John Travolta or whatever. They make these B movies that are terrible. And it's always like, oh, these guys from another country are bringing in drugs. And it's like, oh my God, that's like so overdone or not even real half the time. That's a real problem. I would love to see those people punched in the face. So now I want to watch Jason Statham do them.
They do a good job at making you really hate the characters, the bad guys. And the kid from Hunger Games that plays PETA is one of the main villains. I don't remember the actor's name.
Oh, he doesn't seem like a villain. He's on Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy too.
Yeah, he plays a real douche knuckle. You're gonna love to hate him.
Oh, God, that's a terrible term.
Yeah, no, it's good. If you don't watch it in theaters, at least stream it or whatever when it comes out because it's a good movie.
Okay. We need to grade our movies. I was gonna bring this up to Thomas too. Grade our movies on that like theater, buy, rent, stream, pass. Like that's probably a good rubric because sometimes it's just like I'll wait till I could like rent it for $2.99 on YouTube.
Yeah, if you want to go to the movies and there's nothing else calling out to you, definitely watch that one. But if you don't feel like going to the movies just for it, then wait, but definitely see it when it's out on streaming or for rent.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about it because it's one of those movies where Mean Girls is getting all this popular praise. But those two are like neck and neck at the box office these last couple of weeks, like boom, 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 going back and forth. So like, no, there's a ground swelling for Beekeeper though. That's actually building up there. So that's pretty cool. Okay.